Huh? Sakura's... Sakura's... dead? She's really dead?
I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body.
Hot.
What the fuck?
We didn't make it in time. It's happened again.
Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura really was dead? Checking for a pulse? Or a reaction?
I have to go get them. I have to go get the others.
On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room. And I... Why? Why did this have to happen? That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again.
I need to examine Sakura's body.
I just stood there, motionless behind her, while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there, unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long,
I got everyone.
Yeah, ogre.
Oh, she's dead, huh?
Sakura's been killed. I see.
as soon as they arrived, Kyoko began.
You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means?
Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you were going to say?
No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room. It was one of you, Hiro, Byakuya, Toko. One of you killed Sakura.
What?
You're accusing us before we've even begun the investigation?
I don't need to investigate anything. Because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. One of you did it. I know it.
I have no idea who this is.
You know it?
Good guess.
Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase by that much just by getting mad.
What are you doing here?
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer. That's right! It's the next Monokuma file. And don't get so mad, Miss Asashina, or you are going to ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that,
Hold on. There's something I want to ask you.
Huh?
It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura.
Huh?
Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you and her fought again and then...
And then I killed her. Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. That whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that. It saved me the trouble of having to go through with our little fight. Because even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. I gotta tell ya, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So I don't know who it was, but whoever did black in this time, I owe you one.
You owe them one?
Whoopsie! Before you get all pissy potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. 'Cause I mean, all your lives are on the line, right?
What the hell? He owes them one? I hate him. I hate this whole thing.
Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all.
How can you say that now?
Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Ah.
Right now, sorry. Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead.
Then let's decide who will stand guard this time.
I'll do it.
Hina?
I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
Okay then. Okay, then Hina is guard number 1, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
Me?
You're always a thorn in my side. This time just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order.
An order?
Fine. I'll stay behind.
Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we?
Hold on. Before that, there's something I want to say.
Which is?
Hirio, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene.
What?
One of you killed Sakura. I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her.
Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate.
I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here.
Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise? I won't ask you to let all of us in. Just let me.
What?
You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway.
No, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway.
And you, Hero, do you really object?
If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care?
Then it's decided.
Nothing's decided.
I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request.
But
We have to find out who killed Sakura. For those of us still alive, and to honor Sakura's memory.
fine. I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her.
Naturally. Who would want to touch that filthy dead body?
That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone, keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer, all of us face execution.
Finding out who killed Sakura, it's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's kind of a hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. I'd better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room, on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point, the victim suffered from a violent vomiting of blood.
I think the case this time might be a challenge.
Why's that?
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with a chair from inside the rec room. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after burying the door.
So if the door was blocked from the inside, and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right?
In other words, this is a classic locked room murder.
Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever. But could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails?
Sure, if you don't mind.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime and then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or a simple mechanism. There are a number of variations.
So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed.
Oh?
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that. But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gaps that would allow it.
Yeah, I think we could probably cross that one off the list.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
They stay hidden, and when the door is opened, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that.
That sounds like it could have been possible. Maybe?
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all.
Not a locked room.
By that I mean, there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but in reality, it's generally not possible.
Then you think we can cross that one off too?
I believe so, yes. So, when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics.
So there are 4 possibilities. Then, Kyoko, which of those 4 choices seems to be most likely in this case?
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say.
I see. The way the killer set up the locked room, until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. Aw, shit. Investigato start.
I love they included a locked room mystery. Can I just say?
Oh yeah, man. You got to have one.
I have a theory.
What do you want? You're bothering me. Go away.
He's not even trying to hide how much he despises me. I better go before he crushes my soul completely. What was your theory?
Seppuku!
I feel like we would notice.
Seppuku!
All right, moving
Also
on.
would
Pretty
be a
sure it's
murder in
some
that
sort of-
case.
Pretty sure it's some sort of poison because there's vomiting of
Hmm.
blood.
mean, like-
yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some poison.
Seppuku,
too.
seppuku would only be murder if you had a second, right?
I mean, I guess it depends on whether or not. Yeah, if you have a second, but is it still murder if they're killing you to prevent you from dying slowly? Oh.
Good question.
Let's look at this broken ass glass. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance of the room.
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty.
That's the poison.
Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loves her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you.
I know. But still, this protein can, it's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all sorts of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab.
But that's strange.
Huh? What is?
You see what's scattered around the can?
Shards of light blue glass. They must have been parts of the window I broke to get inside.
But they aren't just scattered around the can. They're also underneath it.
Why does that matter?
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on.
An important clue? I'm not sure I see how.
So there's already glass on the floor when that was put there.
Yeah, Makoto's such an idiot.
I'm guessing we talked to Kyoko last, right? She'd be the one that
Yeah,
moved us
there's
along.
blood on the floor over there as well. By the
Let's
magazines.
investigate the stuff. Oh, wow. Wait, what is this then? Is this blood that just wasn't...
Pink.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's probably not
All
blood.
blood is pink. Yeah. What could it be though?
Rose petals.
What?
There's a blood stain near the front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died?
Whoa, the fucking thing is open.
That
the right,
same
the
shelf
locker.
full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines here. What thing?
The locker.
The locker to the right.
And handprints.
Yeah.
Huh? The locker's open, and there on the inside, it's a handprint?
What's a handprint doing here?
It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker, and it left a handprint and all of the dust. Wow, good job, Makoto. Fucking detective of the year over here.
He's saying it out loud too.
Yeah, I know. Because you could definitely tell what it's in his head. Oh my god.
And it looks quite fresh too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker and they left behind a little something extra.
So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the locker room was open, don't you think? And during all that confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility.
What? Why not?
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right?
Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door.
Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean?
Someone lured Sakura in there before. Hidden there.
Sakura tried to murder someone by locking them in the locker.
Clearly.
It was a fatal game of 7 minutes in heaven.
Basically, it was just like somebody hid in the locker, gave a protein shake, and was just like, "Surprise, bitch!" and then killed her.
I'm pretty sure that's
Surprise,
exactly how it happened.
This bitch empty, yeet.
She was just bullying someone, shoving them into a locker for their lunch money.
Did you know that 7 minutes in heaven is not a thing in Denmark?
Oh, it's
Oh,
not.
you go in a dark closet with somebody and then you're supposed to what, kiss for 7 minutes? I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
it
never
depends
done
on how old you are. You do something that you're not supposed to do for 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Depends on how old you are. What does that mean? That some people do more than that?
Yeah, like when you get old, you like. Oh wait, what are we
How
not supposed to do
old?
as old
I
people?
pulled out my Beretta.
Murder other people, I guess.
Yeah, I
Trapped
guess
in the
yeah. You
closet?
just start doing a murder.
Did Joe like sex
Why am I
somebody in the
trapped
Oh
in the
closet?
no! You go in the closet, then you both like play Digimon where no one can see you.
Sometimes you just go in the closet and giggle awkwardly because there's no way you're gonna touch that person because they're disgusting.
I feel like that's 90% of those situations.
Yep.
As if.
Anyway, let's see this blood. Oh.
Let's get this
Red
bread.
glass. Ooh.
There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are
Red.
the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right?
Oh my god.
So this must have originally been a bottle.
No.
I think it's from the shelf on the back. It looked like there was some red bottles there.
Huh? There's something else in the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits into the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure.
What are you doing to that horse?
The horse looks like it's having a great time. Look at that. Help me.
Monokuma, do you really want to know?
Oh boy.
What do you mean? Do you really want to know?
No.
Oh dear God.
We just
And all of
took
a sudden
Roll
it became
34 into the
fan
audio
fiction.
realm,
Aha.
guys.
I'm not here for this audio drama.
Oh, God.
The new.
Yeah, it could be one of
Hey,
those
wait,
buttons.
wait, look at the paper on the
instructions.
floor. Paper on the floor. Paper.
Paper on the
Paper?
floor.
Oh, I thought she
Paper
wanted to
on
look
the
at
floor.
I think she's right about this. I want to see this first. You guys have to hold. your
Well,
shit
maybe
for
that was the
paper.
blow to the head.
Hold your horses
Yeah.
first.
There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf,
Oh,
and inside each bottle there's some kind of Monokuma figure.
Ooh.
What I'm wondering is how'd they get those figures inside the bottles?
Yeah, that's what you're wondering?
Also, it looks like there should be an extra one, right?
It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that?
Oh, yeah, maybe I have?
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will.
I guess we will.
But doesn't it look like
I
there's two
think it's
missing
really
there?
interesting that it was the night piece that is on the floor.
Why?
I feel like I'm starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. Alright. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit in the head with a Monokuma bottle. Right?
What a Sherlock right here.
Ding ding ding.
The shards of red glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that Monokuma bottle was the weapon.
I immediately think it's not, mostly because he said it.
I mean, at least it wasn't that he missed it entirely or thought the wrong thing.
Was it the
Those are
king or
also
the
possible.
queen bottle missing? Sorry.
Good
I think it
question.
might have been the queen one.
So we've got a pawn, a rook, a bishop, and I think that's the queen, right?
No, that's the king. The queen is missing.
The queen is
Okay.
taller, right? I can never remember which hat is for which.
The king has the crossy thing on his face.
What does the queen have then? Oh, just like a crown?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're missing the knight and the queen then, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're not
Alright.
missing the knight. We know where it is.
Oh, we're missing the queen.
We're missing the queen.
So are those alcohols? Can you drink it?
I mean, I guess we'll find out. Oh, sorry, now we gotta click through all the text. Shit.
Monokuma bottle, if you will.
If I remember right, they said there's nothing alcoholic in there.
Oh, there you go. This looks like some kind of wrapper.
That's...
Do you recognize it, Hina?
For Pat.
Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help calm her down a little.
So you gave this candy to Sakura.
I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room.
Selfish.
I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them.
You really like them that much?
But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now they've lost all their flavor.
Hina.
You haven't even eaten one since you found out you died.
I know.
How do
I
you
was
know
thinking
that? I was hiding 5 in my titties.
Oh, damn.
Well,
Just 5?
See, I like that. I have that in common with my character. We both have big chests.
Are yours as shiny as hers?
No one's are as shiny as that.
Yeah, I think I'd have to rub like fucking oil on my chest like 5,000 times a day.
Sakura drew her last breath, sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of a blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally, I wouldn't have any problem believing that's what killed her. But according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I could see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So, what would have caused her to vomit blood?
Poison.
The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood.
Not the brightest. Not a chance.
Byakuya?
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location.
Interesting.
Yes, most interesting. Don't you agree?
No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. That's not something that you wonder. That's just a thing that you think. But,
I'm surprised there's no, like, glass in her hair. Like, I feel like that would be something that you would see. But I guess it really doesn't matter.
Fair enough.
Also, I find it interesting that he, like, for whatever reason, definitely believes that she died from a blow to the head, but Monokuma couldn't punish her after we saw what he did to Junko. I mean,
Yeah.
like, Makoto, please. Please, Makoto.
He's the smartest guy in the room, man. Come on.
When he's alone, still not even.
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, our hero. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto?
Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more.
Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all 3 of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room.
What?
After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. She said she'd left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon.
By noon. The Monokuma file said she died right around then.
I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And then I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened.
Hina. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. But the fact that she asked those 3 to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with the 3 of them directly.
Why?
It's the clock.
Because her friend died.
It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 noon. So, roughly an hour ago. Was that when Kyoko and I were moving Alter Ego? I'm trying to think of what else is in here. Oh, what's this? The sofa? The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think that the chair had anything special done to it. Oh. Okay.
In my tired state, I thought it said something like we didn't suspect the chair of doing it, and I was like,
Oh.
it murdered the chair.
The chair
murdered her?
is off the hook, guys. I guess that's everything over here, right? Let's go talk to Kyoko then.
Did we check the magazines themselves?
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we
just
did.
said there was magazines.
Okay. But for Sakura to have been killed,
Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
and she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand?
They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly, they would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her.
We need to examine the current. Okay, so what more is there to look at, though? We talked to Byakuya, we checked the clock.
Well, wait,
There's
there's
the-
something.
Maybe the chair she's sitting in.
No?
Maybe.
Maybe the cabinet the brown cabinet there, the wooden
Oh,
cabinet,
maybe.
the one.
No.
Did we talk to Hina?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when she told us that they were all... Oh, we gotta talk
Did
to
we look
Byakuya
at the-
again. Because now he has a thing we have to ask him about.
What do you want? You're bothering me.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Make it quick.
Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room?
So you found out. Interesting.
You're literally 2 feet apart.
Then it's true?
I did receive a note to that effect, yes.
Okay.
But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster?
So you didn't go see her?
Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all.
Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight.
God, you're such a douchebag. I love it.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, that's gotta be it. This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. This door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only noticeable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence of any kind of string or mechanism that was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the locked door from inside, not from the outside.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation?
Yeah, I think so. For the most part.
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave. Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place.
She's decided. She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say.
Can we go check the room with the poison first?
I'm sure that we will get there eventually.
Chemtrails.
Chemtrails? What? Get the fuck out of here with that.
Well, that's where you have to follow the
Trails
trail to the chem lab.
Yeah, okay. All
So
right.
it's chemtrails.
That's terrible.
You're terrible.
Those other 2 probably went back to their rooms. She could do that creepy thing where she opens the door and like peeks her head out. And after a few seconds... Ah, fuck. That freaks me out, guys.
Huh? Who's there?
The most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood too.
Well, she didn't look like she was in a good mood. Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Mm.
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
Oh, I'm a snake now. Bitch. What do you want? You said you wanted to talk to me about something.
I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura asked you to meet with her.
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
Byakuya already told me that she had asked to meet with him.
What? She wanted to meet with Master too? Oh! I just said two, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. So can you tell me about it?
I admit I did get the note. But I didn't see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go.
Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room.
With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Slytherin
I'm
bitch.
such a pretty girl. Why does everybody hate me?
So many reasons.
So many dead
It's
people we
Sakura.
keep seeing.
She's actually been hiding the whole time. Nope. Alright, well, worth a shot. God, the controls are so good. Let me tell you.
Hey, remember
guys.
that time we tried to go into Hifumi's door and he like came barreling down the hallway?
Yeah,
No.
that was good times.
Yep.
You can't just go into someone's store.
I pressed the doorbell, and after a few seconds,
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something?
yeah, actually, I wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet you.
How did you know about that? Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? Well, but I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too.
What? When did Sakura tell you that?
Oh, well... when she asked me to meet with her, of course.
But didn't she write you a note?
Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing.
I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura?
No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that?
Yeah, definitely suspicious.
The last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office. I haven't seen her since then.
But then how?
While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you?
Oh, do I still have it? Let's see.
Hiro was feeling around in his pockets.
Sorry. Looks like I don't have it anymore.
With a big, goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. Huh? Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Sorry. Just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out.
Trash?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me.
Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room.
Oh,
Hiro said that it was just trash, but there's no way that's all there is to it.
oh,
He would be the kind of coward that would use poison.
Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next?
poison room.
I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again. But on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. Where's this goddamn chem
You
lab
just went
at?
past it. It's behind you.
Did I?
Chemtrails.
One left. Back,
No,
back,
there
back.
was a
I was-
closed
And
hallway.
it's like, no, it said it right there.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
I
Oh
literally
my
teleported
God.
to it. We're going to edit this part out.
No one will ever know.
No, you won't.
Look at this fuck.
Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way.
Yeah, I got it.
I think what you meant to say was, yes, sir, I understand.
Nice.
I didn't
wow.
realize we'd entered into
I
this
can't
dog
wait for it
sub
to actually be
relationship.
him.
Yeah, he's definitely a weirdo.
I just now imagine him looking out the door, seeing Makoto go, okay, now to the chem lab, right past it.
I mean, what do you think about it? Byakuya's, like, condescension to Makoto, at least, kind of makes sense. Except for the fact that Makoto's some sort of idiot savant who always ends up solving the case.
And he fucking knows it. It's not like he relied on Makoto that one time to solve it, remember? And he was like, now I know how smart you are, blah, 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 blah.
That's gotta burn him pretty bad.
Yes,
All
sir,
right.
I understand.
So are we gonna
Lick
look at
my
the big
boots, sir,
spilled
please.
stuff over here? Feels like that's the way to be. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably get a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more importantly right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it.
Is somebody...
I mean, there's a skull on it.
Yeah, I wonder, is it bad powder? Maybe not.
Those
It's
are
not anthrax.
footprints?
No.
And they're only in front of the left shelf.
How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan.
By we, do you mean me?
How kind of you to offer.
I
With
love
an
him.
insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
Well, let's go. Chop chop.
Okay. So I got to work, and before long I'd drawn up a sketch of the room.
And then he's like, what a shitty drawing, asshole. Look at the bottle. Actually, his footprints are pretty good, though. I gotta give him
Yeah,
credit
those
on
are good.
those. Okay, I'm
So how's this?
Not bad. For you, I mean.
For me,
So when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf.
Yep, Makoto already said that.
They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me. These footprints must be. Makoto, are they yours?
no!
Okay, then, let me see your shoes and I shall confirm their size for myself.
Look at my tiny baby.
I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya asked.
I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints.
Unfortunately?
But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to.
then these prints are a really valuable clue. Cool, man.
I like how it clearly shows that whoever walked to the shelf was like, yeah, I don't give a shit about this powder. Boop, 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 and then
I
walked
know,
away.
right? There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from?
No.
It looks like the bottle had a label on it. Chem C4.
Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this.
Then, this powder must have been spilled.
That's right. It could only have been around the time of the incident.
If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I'd better not leave a footprint.
Why?
I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle is labeled Chem C4. Also, it looks like some of the footprints in the powder. On this shelf is... One look and I could tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I could consider this part of the part of the shelving unit section C.
C
Wow.
is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
So on this shelf is... It looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are.
There are regions. Put simply, they are used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss.
Isn't that kind of harsh?
What? You think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world?
Not really.
The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well.
I didn't even say that. Anyway, this doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All of the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit Section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf.
Wait, what if the footprints are Sakura's because she went just to A if that's where all the protein is?
There is no way that her feet are smaller than Makoto's.
I was about to say the same thing.
There's no way. I am sorry. I will die on that hill.
I will laugh if that's the case.
She's like 6'4". He's 5'2". Like
Let's see, what's on this shelf?
Cheetos.
There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess we can call this part of the shelving unit Section A. Huh? But wait.
There's more.
There's one bottle on here that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? I should try to find more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that Section A, there was a bottle labeled from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on here. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room.
Makoto, I admit, you have a good eye for spotting useful clues. But you also need to learn how to make use of those clues.
So Makoto, how's your investigation going?
I told Kyoko and what Toko and Hiro told me.
I see. So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they did not go see her. But it's all too convenient, Someone must have been lying.
Someone's lying?
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These three things have revealed new clues. You do well to look them over one more time.
Okay, so if we check Sakura and it turns out that she's been a guy this whole time, are we gonna be shocked, guys?
No.
Yes.
Not again. How many secret wieners are there in this game? According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
The hand bra.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out.
Yeah, just get right in there, motorboater.
You probably couldn't. It probably would beat you up if you tried to slap back and forth between all that muscle. Well, yeah, I know, but
Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around it.
unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to, but although there are still some times, I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
That's totally normal.
Then how can you?
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past.
Damn, let's not explain that any further. What?
Sorry, never mind. More importantly, look here.
Her shoes?
You see that yellow powder on her instep?
Yeah, it really stands out.
That powder is clue number 1.
Yellow powder has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully. Actually, even telling you that is incredibly difficult to spot. So let me just explain. It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head.
2 blows?
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing. Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one. So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail.
Kyoko's examination summary has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Aha!
I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off.
I mean, anyone who bothered looking.
Yeah, I know, right? Also, is anybody shocked that it took more than one hit to the back of her head? Like, Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? This magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think?
Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is... On one of the pages near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bold, bloody letters, and it said, Toko. Could this be a dying message?
Then it would appear you've found it.
Kyoko, is this?
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it.
A dying message?
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking.
Hey, is that says Toko, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Then she's the killer, right?
Well, that hasn't been confirmed yet.
It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer.
I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. Magazine dying message has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. There's a bloodstain in front of the magazine shelf. I can only assume that the blood is Sakura's, but that's strange if true. Why is it so far away from where she died?
Okay, so that's because she was writing. Potentially, at least.
I think Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new. Something new.
So, did you figure it out?
Yeah, but Makoto didn't.
There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it.
They're all about chess.
A correlation.
Oh god.
Hey, Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
I don't mind guiding you towards clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusions so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome.
And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer?
I do trust you to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with.
Only to a degree. Monokuma bottle has been updated in the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Actually, there is one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right?
An experiment?
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces too.
Huh? Are you sure it's okay for me to mess with a crime scene like that?
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya is not here, so... Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass.
With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? It's better to just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up...
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Nice.
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights.
Compare the weights of what?
The pieces of glass you've collected and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact.
Why do you want to do that?
That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done. First, let's compare the weight of the two normal Monokuma bottles.
It's balanced. Well,
Which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same.
which makes sense. The Monokuma figurines inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight.
Now, here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see?
Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some of them here and there.
Okay, then let's give it a try.
It's more expensive? Wait, heavier?
What the fuck?
It's a really heavy bag.
The broken pieces are heavier? How's that possible?
Just as I thought.
What?
The result of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles. Put it all together. And I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you.
Monokuma bottle experiment has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Oops, you caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring. I couldn't stay awake. Should I do this? Is it okay? Can I? Can I? Okay then, let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It's already time, but the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen.